4 inches of rain. That rain does continue tonight with heavy rain at times this evening. Again, much of the area could see 1 to 4 inches of rain tonight, and for that reason, many of us are under a flash flood watch this evening for that rain potential through tomorrow. In fact, the heaviest rains for our area could come tomorrow, but in the meantime, the immediate threat right now is this system here in moving out of Rusk County into Price County. It is producing a tornado, a long-lived tornado. We've been tracking this for over an hour into our viewing area now. It is now in our viewing area, and you can see where the heaviest part of the storm is. We'll illuminate that for you. You can see this is basically where the hail core of this storm is, right through here. So, Jump River up toward Kennon, you're in a little bit of trouble with hail. Again, the hail with this has been reported about 1.25 inches in diameter, so that's golf ball size hail. We had hen egg size hail earlier, so this storm is pulsing though, so it kind of deflates and bounces back up. It deflates and bounces back up, and it's going to continue to happen this evening as it has held together for really the last hour and a half. Per hour. Look at this. This is hail measured in the storm, so 2.5 inches aloft. So it doesn't mean it's reaching the ground, but hail 2.5 inches. If you're along Highway 8, which is right here, this yellow line right here, if you're along Highway 8 and your car gets hit by 2.5-inch hail, that'll do some damage and cause some injuries as well. So please, if you're in this area, pull over, or if you're heading that direction, turn around and get out of the way of the storm, as it means business as it moves to the east this evening into the metro area of the Northwoods. So we're keeping an eye on this for you. But again, this circulation is right now. Here's Hawkins, and here's Ingram over here. We'll zoom in. The circulation is coming back to life here, you can see. So this is Doppler radar, essentially, where it measures wind coming either toward the radar or away from the radar. And where you get that couplet right in the center, right there, that is where you have the best circulation. And that's exactly what's been occurring off and on the last hour and a half across the Northwoods. So this storm originated really back by the Wisconsin, really Minnesota border. It's moved all the way from the border up along here, long-lived track right there. You can see it there. We'll actually all the way back over here, all the way to the front. You can see it's been almost over 100 miles so far and is holding together, and it continues to do so as it heads toward the east at about 40 miles per hour this evening. So there are other severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for us tonight. But first of all, right now, all of us are under a tornado watch until 10 p.m. this evening. So that includes much of the metro area here and much of northeast Wisconsin and northwest Wisconsin, for the conditions are ripe right now for tornadoes to develop, and it has done so this evening. This watch is in effect for us until 10 o'clock tonight. Underneath this tornado watch is a flash flood advisor, or flash flood watch, where any of these storms are capable of producing really 1 to 4 inches of rain. That'll do some damage after yesterday Glidden reported 4.66 inches of rain in just a few hours. So yeah, this storm means business. It's dropping torrential rain, some flooded out roadways, reports of some power outages too out that direction. So we're keeping an eye on that for you. I'll ask Chad to dig up the latest weather watches, or actually the power outage statistics at that direction here in a second. But you can see for right now, the immediate threat is southern Price County with a tornado-warned storm that just moved out of Rusk County, moving into Price County, southern Price County. It is just south of Highway 8. If it follows this path, it's going to pass just south of Kennon and then head over toward Highway 13, and then be just south of Prentice before moving into really the Northwoods here into north of Tomahawk. So we're keeping an eye on this for you. This storm has a history of producing a tornado for the last hour, hour and a half off and on. Funnel clouds have been reported. A tornado has been reported on the ground. Golf ball size hail has been reported, and wind gusts too over severe limits also with this storm. So take cover with this storm immediately if you can, as we get more details coming up for you. But in the meantime, the whole area is under tornado watch coming forward. We have some damage in Chetek. We also have some damage reports here in Chetek. Looking at pictures of Chetek, we'll get on our Facebook page here in just a moment, where it shows structural damage in Chetek as that tornado passed by about 45 minutes ago. That tornado did do some damage in Chetek. This is the same storm we're talking about right now that's been pulsing on and off across the region, generally following Highway 8. Right here, it's been just to the south of Highway 8, went through Chetek, did some damage in Chetek. It is now moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. Prentice, you are in the immediate path of this storm. If I can ask Chad to draw in here too, you can see who's next in line for the storm going forward, because it is moving very quickly off to the east at 40 miles per hour. Here it is, you can see here, torrential rain. That's a symbol there of torrential rain falling with this storm in that area. Here's Highway 8 right here. Phillips is right there. Again, this storm is moving due east currently across the region. And when this path, on this current path, if this storm holds together, which looks like it will, it has all the velocities to do that. You know, PM Ogema is at 709, Spirit's at 721, Somo's at 730, Tomahawk 746. So now is your time to find your safe spot in your home. That means an interior closet or bathroom. Really, the goal here is to put as many walls between you and the outside as you possibly can, as this storm has produced damage. The damage pictures I just saw from Chedek really had a building leveled, completely leveled down to the foundation. So if that storm moves through, it means business, and it could really do some damage to your home as well. So take cover now if you're in the path of this storm. That includes there Ogema's next, then Spirit, then Somo, then Tomahawk, and then Emma's next too at 751 if this storm holds together. Now the storm has held together for the last hour and a half, and look at this circulation. Every time we pull this up, it looks even more well defined. And again, this is Doppler radar showing the rotation in the cloud, and we have confirmed reports on the ground by storm spotters, confirmed trained storm spotters of this storm actually being on the ground as it moves to the east right now at 40 miles per hour across southern Price County. We're talking about areas just to the south of Highway 8. If it continues to hold on this path, you saw Tomahawk, you are in line for this path as well as it moves toward Ogema. Just to the south of Prentice, and then Brentwood, you're in the path of this as well. It's been really the trajectory has been due east with this since it developed back across the Wisconsin, Minnesota border, and it has held together this long. So this storm does mean business. It's dropping hail, it's dropping heavy rain, and of course it has that confirmed report of a tornado with this system as it is just south of Highway 8 in southern Price County right now. So this is the time to warn you to take precautions in this area as it moves to the east. If you are in the path of the storm, again, if you are listening to me or watching me just south of Highway 8, you need to take cover and get your plan in place right now. As it moves toward the direction of you, you can put as many walls between you as you can between the outside world. Get away from windows. If you can, what's best is the basement, of course. This is what you've been practicing in your schools. The kids are home from school right now, but if you've been practicing this, you know to get in the lowest spot of the house as you possibly can, away from the windows and away from doors and anything that can injure you from flying debris from the outside. It doesn't take a lot of flying debris to injure you, and it can come very quickly. So keep an eye on the sky on this system as it moves off to the east. It is moving off to the east at 40 miles per hour right now. And it continues. Okay. If I can ask the control room to switch over to Max 2. Max 2 has a picture of Chedek. You can see here, this is where the damage is occurring. It has occurred earlier. This happened about 45 minutes ago. This, my friends, is a structure. This structure has been blown over by this storm. This is debris. There is, literally down to the foundation here from this storm. So it means business. Of course, we do not know right now. This is an EF1, EF2, EF3, but we can measure that later. But in the meantime, our job is to keep you safe. We want you to be safe. So please get in your safe spot right now. If you're in your home, an interior closet is best, or your basement is also best. And if you're also in your place of work or business, you can also get into an interior room. The goal is to separate you between the outside world and as many walls as possible, because damage like this, it can hurt you, and we don't want that to hurt you. This blows, you're in this and it blows over on you, that's trouble, and we don't want that to happen to you. So take those precautions now. All of us are under a tornado watch this evening. We have a confirmed tornado on the ground, a long track, long-lived tornado doing damage just like this out there right now in southern Price County. All right, I can go back over to Max 1. I'll show you this system here. So here's where the warning is occurring. If you're in red, you need to take caution right now. So here is Highway 8. Here's Prentice. The tornado is about right in here, moving to the east about 40 miles per hour, right along Highway 8 or 5 miles to the south of Highway 8. If you're in the path of the storm, you need to take cover immediately because this has done damage back in Rusk County in the Chedek area. And you can see right now drawing that at 7 miles now just to the south of Highway 8. And it's been a pretty due track to the east. The trajectory here has been pretty uniform all evening long with this system as it moved through Rusk County into Price County as well. So here's the latest statistics in terms of pointing out where it's going to go for you. So again, 722 is on your back door. Take cover now. 729 Timms Hill. 734 PM Spirit, and then Somo is 742, and this is and then for Tomahawk at 759. So this is timing it out at going 40 miles per hour. Earlier, it was going about 25 to 30 miles per hour. So it does have a history of slowing down a little bit. But again, that just gives the storm time to re-energize. And it's been doing that since about the last hour and a half this evening. So this storm has stayed together from the Wisconsin-Minnesota border. It has crossed over into Rusk County, now crossing over into Price County. Southern Price County, you are under the gun right now. As Ogema, you're up next for this system. But there is other severe weather around too. Hail. Large hail, hen-sized egg hail, hen egg-sized hail has been reported with this storm as well. And also parts of Ashland County saw severe weather earlier with golf ball-sized hail, and wind gusts and some damage reports are coming in from there. So we are all over all this for you. This entire system, if I can ask Chad to pull out a little bit, you can see is moving to the east at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. But it's not just this one storm that's in our backyards right now. We have other storms forming off to the west. We're in for a long duration stormy night for us this evening, as many storms are going to develop after the heat of the day today. You knew we had trouble, right, when earlier we had temperatures kind of cool throughout the day today, and then the sun came out and poof, we had temperatures in the 70s to near 80, and the dew points right now are near 70. That's tropical air. That's a lot of juice for this storm to work with, and it is doing that. It's tapping into all that energy as we expand these watches and warnings to the east here, and it looks like the warnings are moving to the east pretty quickly here at 30 to 40 miles per hour as this system moves into Lincoln County and also Marathon County and Oneida County as well. So there's a new warning here for Lincoln County, a severe thunderstorm warning for wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour and 1-inch hail has been reported with the storm moving into Lincoln County right now. And again, it looks like it's still moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. And that will be the case. And the tornado sirens are what, Chad?
The tornado's still on the ground.
The tornado is still confirmed on the ground in southern Price County, and this is moving to the east at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. On this trajectory, it'll take it into Lincoln County next, and then parts of Oneida County as well. So we got to keep our eyes out for this as it moves into more populated areas across the Northwoods this evening. But here it is on radar. You can see here's Prentice right here, also Phillips. This is where the bulk of the hail is falling right now. And again, reports of hail the size of golf balls. Here it is now. I'll try to zoom out a little bit. This is the hail course. Wherever you see blue and purples in here is the deepest or the thickest hail. Again, this is Highway 8. If you're yellow right there, that's Highway 8. And hail in this storm is being measured at 2.2 inches in diameter. What that means is this is not looking quite at the ground level. This is looking up into the cloud where usually the hail is a little bit bigger up that direction than at the surface right now. But 2-inch hail will do some damage to your car and to your house as well. This core, which is held together since the Minnesota-Wisconsin border, has been moving to the east at 40 miles per hour, just to the south of Highway 8. It continues to do so right now. It'll cross Prentice here shortly before it moves into more, Lincoln and Oneida counties as well. So we have a lot going on with this system. It's causing damage in Shettic, where we saw structural damage on them. And then you can see that it's causing trouble in Shettic there, where they've had structural damage to buildings and a lot of problems with power outages there as well. So if you're in the path of the storm, we're looking at the hail core right now. This is Highway 8. As you know, Highway 8 is right there. The bulk of the storm is just to the south of Highway, at least the hail core is. The tornado with this storm is actually just right over here, crossing into southern Price County right now. Again, this whole system is growing again. Look at the hail core now is 2.9 inches. So that means hail up in the cloud is 2.9 inches in diameter. It's indicative of really strong updrafts. This storm is reaching probably 45 to 50,000 feet into the atmosphere, and it's held together since the Wisconsin-Minnesota border. That's a long duration, long-lived, long-track tornado. It has done damage in Shettic, and it's continued to do damage here across southern Price County right now. So here's Prentice right there. The tornado would be right in here. You can see there, we'll draw that for you. It's moving slowly to the east at about 40 miles per hour. And I say slowly. 40 miles per hour for these kind of storms is relatively slow. It was 25 miles per hour earlier, so it's picked up a little bit in speed, forward speed, but it's still moving relatively slowly as it crosses into southern Price County here, doing damage. Of course, we had damage reports earlier. We have power outage reports earlier as well. We also have hail being reported of almost 2 inches in diameter, causing damage there too. There are other storms across the area as well. Just a reminder, all of us are under a tornado watch for this evening until about 10 p.m. as we get this entire batch of severe weather to come through this evening. It's taking some time. We knew we were in trouble earlier today when the sun came out, that heated up the atmosphere, all that bubbling, juicy air. You know it's humid outside too. If you're sweating outside as soon as you go outside, it's humid. You know that's all juice that this storm can work with, and it's working with that, really, that energy this evening as it continues to pull off to the east here at about 40 miles per hour. So there are lots of storms across the area. Rhinelander, you're about to get wet if you haven't already outside right now. I can hear raindrops on the ceiling. But this storm is moving to the east. You can see right along Highway 8 right there. It is still a confirmed tornado on the ground in southern Price County, moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. I can have Chad draw out where it's going to go to next on that trajectory, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Right now it's currently located 7 miles south of Highway 8, moving due east. So here we go. Ogema, you're up next with 718 in your backyard. Timms Hill at 724. PM Spirit there is Spirit at 729. And Somo, and then Tomahawk you can see there at 754. So if I just mentioned your town, this is the time you have to take cover and to get out of the way of the storm. So that means you can go into an interior closet or bathroom. If you have a basement, that's the best location to go. Generally, put as many walls between you and the outside as you can, because this storm has knocked over buildings back to the west in Rusk County. It continues to do damage as it works to the east, and it could, could impact your home with debris. So if you put as many walls between you and the outside world as you can, you protect yourself the best from that debris as it swirls up and can really become projectiles and do a lot of damage to you and your property as it moves to the east. So the core of the hail, you can see here, okay, so here's the Doppler radar. Again, this measures wind essentially moving toward or away from the radar. So where you have greens and reds combine, that's where you have a circulation, right? So here's the spin in the atmosphere. Again, this is measuring it up into the cloud at several thousand feet. However, we do have confirmed reports of this tornado being on the ground across southern Price County right now. It continues to move to the east at 40 miles per hour. This will take it on a trajectory toward Tomahawk within the next 35 to 40 minutes. This storm has held together for the last hour to hour and a half. So this storm does mean business. It has a lot of circulation with it. It has great structure to it. As a meteorologist looking at this, you can see really the stats with it are really impressive in terms of the updrafts and the hail cores. So if it continues to hold together, this will continue to do damage across southern Price County before it moves to the east and affects areas into Oneida County as well. And Lincoln County, too, you're up next, which currently has a severe thunderstorm warning now for Oneida County and for Lincoln counties, too. This is until 8 o'clock for Lincoln County and until 8:30 for Oneida County. This is out ahead of the main circulation with the storm doing damage here off to the east, up to the west, I'm sorry. As it moves to the east, you can see here, out ahead of it, more storms are firing. These are typically, the worst storms to deal with here. These can produce long-lived tornadoes as well as large hail cores with this. So right now, though, the immediate threat is with this storm right here across southern Price County as it moves just to the south of Highway 8. It is literally 7 miles to the south of Highway 8, getting close to being just south of Prentice. It's moving due east at 40 miles per hour. And that hasn't changed much in the last 30 to 40 minutes with the storm, as it developed really earlier, about 4 o'clock this afternoon, across the western parts of Minnesota, or western parts of Wisconsin into eastern Minnesota. It has moved to the east since then and done damage ever since with this long-lived tornado that's been on the ground for almost an hour now across this area. So we'll go for a little radar tour here. There's other storms out there as well. Merrill, you're getting wet right now, but nothing severe for you, or it is severe actually. We have reports of hail and some winds in near Rock Falls here, near 50 miles per hour, that area. And to the north, you can see other wind gusts near 60 miles per hour for Lincoln County and to Taylor County as well. And then we have also Marathon County is in the loop with this too. But if you're in Harrison right here, if you're in Tomahawk, you're getting hit right now with a thunder shower, right? But we have more coming behind that as the tornado warning storm is behind that coming your direction. So here is a look at what the hail is. This is what our hail map looks like. And this looks at, really the density of the return on the radar beam, and it shows you it can measure how big the hail is in the storm. So right now we're seeing hail of 2.5 inches. Again, this is a loft. It does not mean 2.5-inch hail is actually reaching the ground, but it is a loft of several thousand feet in the atmosphere that could fall to the surface. Now, if you're in a car or if you're in a house with glass windows, you know 2.5-inch hail can do some damage. That's what we're dealing with this evening across much of the Northwoods, as we have a lot of instability in the atmosphere and a lot of hail out there tonight. 3.3-inch hail now being reported with this storm. This is the tornado-warned storm across southern Price County as it moves to the east at about 40 miles per hour. Again, we have Pennington is right here. Prentice is right here. We're ultra zoomed in here so you can see exactly if you're on Highway 8 moving to the west. You're pretty much missing the bulk of the hail. You could run into a little bit of hail here, but not a lot. The bulk of the hail is going to stay to your south as this storm is moving directly due east right now. But it is crossing into Highway 13 right here. If you're on Highway 13 just south of Prentice, this is trouble. As this storm moves your way about 40 miles per hour, it could do damage to your car as it does so with 2-inch hail and golf ball size hail making it to the surface just a short time ago. And we also had a hen-sized egg hail making it to the surface too. So this storm means business. As it moves off to these, we're here to keep you informed. We want to keep you safe. We're going to draw out here exactly where the tornado still is. Again, this is not a radar-indicated tornado. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground by storm chasers out there and law enforcement out there watching this storm as it moves to the east across southern Price County. Ogema, you are up next for the storm. It's directly to your west right now, moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. It is going to be in your backyard very shortly. If you live in Ogema, now use the time to take cover. You have just a couple minutes to take cover. As the storm has produced damage off to the west into Rusk County, it continues to do damage across just the south of Highway 8. And Ogema, you're up next, followed by Spirit, and it's going to work its way into the more populated areas here, eventually making it into Tomahawk if it stays together. We have no reason to suggest or even think the storm is not going to hold together. It has held together since the Minnesota-Wisconsin border earlier today as we watched these storms develop around 4 o'clock this afternoon. And we knew we were in trouble because we had a lot of instability in the atmosphere. We had a lot of heat from the day. And if you walk outside, you know it's so humid out there. Dew points are near 70. That's like Aruba. And it's very moist out there and very wet. This is all fuel for these storms as they continue to develop across much of the east, generally at 40 miles per hour. So you can see here a lot of severe weather warnings in effect for across the region now, including parts of Oneida County into Marathon County, Portage County, and Lincoln County as well. These storms that are severe warned are producing 60-mile-per-hour winds, also hail the size of golf balls, and there have been many reports of hail the size of golf balls across the area now. As these storms today have a lot of instability to work with. This very humid, moist air has a lot of buoyancy to it. What that does is create a lot of updrafts in the atmosphere. When that happens, the air can rise. These thunderstorms tap into that, lift all this water up into the atmosphere, and it creates hail as it circulates in the storm, those updrafts. And here you go. You get 2-inch hail, and we get many reports now of 2-inch hail across the region today. So here to recap the situation going on right now, southern Price County, you are under the gun right now. Just south of Prentice, about to cross Highway 13, is a confirmed tornado. A tornado that's really done damage back in Rusk County. It has leveled some buildings out that direction. No reports of any injuries right now, but again, we're here to keep you safe. That's why we're on the air with you right now, cutting into your live programming. Here is that live tornado right now on the ground. This is our Doppler radar feature, which shows you where you see a circulation. So it's really looking at the air, and is the air moving toward the radar or away from the radar? And when it does that, you can get a circulation develop right there. And where you have the reds meet the greens, that's where circulation is, and that's where we have a confirmed tornado on the ground. Again, this is not just radar indicated aloft tornado or funnel cloud. We have law enforcement actually chasing this storm, as well as several storm spotters that are confirming this on the ground right now as it moves to the east, due east really, at 40 miles per hour. This will take it further into Price County here very quickly before it gets into Marathon County as well. But again, we have severe weather warnings all over the place right now across the Northwoods. Now it's time to take cover. Grab your flashlight. If you're in the path of the tornado, make sure you have your tornado precautions in effect here. And again, that is to put between you and the outside world as many walls as you can. I don't care how you do it, just do it. If you're in a building that has no basement, that's the best way to go. So an interior closet or a bathroom. If you have a basement, as you know, it's the best place to go right now. I would grab a mattress or some covers or some pillows, try to cover your head. If the kids have bike helmets, put a bike helmet on their head. That's the safest way to go with this because it has done damage across southern Price County back into Rusk County as the storm is held together for really the last hour and a half as it moves to the east at about 40 miles per hour toward Tomahawk right now. So Tomahawk, right now, you probably have about 30 minutes or so to take cover and to get ready for this storm as it moves in your direction. But it is moving your direction. And then Lincoln County, you're up next under the gun with this storm. But everybody, a lot of folks right now have a lot of severe weather in their backyards. Wherever you see orange on this map, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. Okay? So that means the conditions in these counties, in these areas, are confirmed either 60-mile-per-hour winds, golf ball-sized hail, something that make it severe warned is occurring in these counties right now. Of course, and this includes Oneida County, Marathon County, Lincoln County, back into Price County as well. So a lot of the Northwoods right now is under severe thunderstorm warnings as these storms have developed across the region. They have a lot of moisture to tap into. They're tapping into the heat of the day, and now they're moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. Our immediate threat, though, is our biggest concerns with this storm right here. It is a tornado on the ground in southern Price County, a confirmed tornado. So this has done damage back in Rusk County. This is not just up in the sky, radar indicated. No, we have law enforcement and people watching this storm as it moves to the east and generally right along Highway 8. So here is Highway 8. Right up here, you can see the yellow up that direction. There's Pennington. The tornado will be located right about in here, so we're just about 6 or 7 miles south of Highway 8. Here's Highway 13. It is crossing Highway 13 right now. If you're on Highway 13, you could not only be hit by a tornado, you may be hit by 2, maybe even 3-inch hail as well. Again, do not be on Highway 13 right now, just south of Pennington, just south of Highway 8. Not a good place to be. And then also on Timms Hill, you're up next with this. Spirit, then you're up next as it moves into Tomahawk then, right along Highway 56. So there's a lot going on with this system. It is causing damage off to the west. We have confirmed reports of structural damage across Rusk County. The pictures we saw earlier, I don't know if we can go back to those pictures on Max 2. If we can switch over real quick. Back to the west, we saw pictures of damage in Rusk County. Can you switch over to Max 2? Is it possible to switch over to Max 2 or not? In the meantime, while they figure we can get that or not, we can see this tornado here. This is the Doppler radar feature. Okay, so again, this is air, right? Measuring the air, either moving toward or away from the radar. So when that happens, you can measure if there's a circulation. And right there, where you see the reds and the greens meet, that's a circulation. So this is moving right towards Timms Hill. It's on top of Ogema right now. It's moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. You can see here, many towns are now moving into a more populated area. So if you're in the path of the storm for Highway 86 here for Somo, down toward Tomahawk, you can see now is the time to put your tornado precautions in effect. That means grabbing the kids, heading toward the basement, getting as many walls between you as you possibly can in the outside world, calling your grandfolks, calling your neighbors, making sure they're safe and alert of this as well. We are here to keep you safe, and that's what we do best, and we like to do it. But this is a dangerous situation as we have confirmed damage across parts of Rusk County as this tornado, confirmed tornado by law enforcement and by storm spotters, continues to move off to the east at about 40 miles per hour toward Tomahawk and then parts of Lincoln County, Marathon County, and Oneida County as well. So we're continuing to watch this for you, but this is not the only storm in the area right now. We have other storms out there right now doing business as well, and we have lots of reports of severe weather across parts of Oneida County into Lincoln County. Merrill's under the gun, Rhinelander as well. We'll go for a little radar tour here, and you can see all these storms. And again, these discrete cells you see here near Harrison, these typically produce the worst hail. They have the most updrafts in them, which can create that instability, which creates really golf ball-sized hail with these systems. That's why they're warned now with severe thunderstorm warning. You see the outlines of the yellow here? That's where we have the warning area, and this storm is warned near Harrison. Also reports of torrential rainfall with these systems as well. Again, we could see reports of 1 to 4 inches of rain with this tonight after receiving Glidden saw 4.66 inches of rain just yesterday. So we're in for a flood threat this evening as well. across the area. We have a flood advisory or flash flood watch in effect through tomorrow morning, really, for these storms as they move off to the east and create a lot of problems against the area. So this storm near Harrison, is just to the south of Rhinelander. You can see Rhinelander is right there. Here's Harrison. Here's Parrish. Again, this one's moving to the east as well, but it's producing torrential rain and large hail. These discrete supercells out ahead of the main line. The cold front is still way back here in Minnesota. It's not going to cross through until tomorrow. So any of this area could fire storms this evening. But right now, our immediate threat is this storm right here. Ogema, you are under the gun currently. Look at this. It's pulsing again. 3.3-inch hail. Again, this is the radar looking at hail in the sky, measuring hail 3.3 inches in diameter in the sky. So this is several thousand feet into the atmosphere. But if this makes it to the surface, 3-inch hail will do some damage to your house, to your car, to you. And again, our job is to keep you safe this evening, and that's what we're going to do by breaking into your programming now and staying with you until this the threat goes away for this evening. But again, here is Highway 8. Here is Prentice. This is the tornado-warned storm. It has a long history now of producing tornadoes all the way back from Minnesota into Wisconsin. It passed through Rusk County, did damage, structural damage across parts of Rusk County. It is now in southern Price County, just to the south of Prentice. We're probably talking 5 or 6 miles to the south of Prentice. I'll have Chad, if you can, pull it up for you. Moving to the east now, it'll move into Lincoln County shortly, and then the Tomahawk has sights on you as well. But again, here, just to kind of get your bearings straight here, where we're currently at, Prentice is right here. Hello, Prentice, how are you? Prentice, you are just to the north of a large hail core in there as well. The tornado is back right into here, moving to the east now at about 40 miles per hour, moving toward Tomahawk. It's over Ogema right now. Again, a long history of producing a tornado that's been followed by law enforcement. It's been followed by storm chasers. It's confirmed to have done structural damage across parts of Rusk County, and it continues to pulse and stay on the ground as it moves to the east at about 40 miles per hour across parts of southern Price County and now moving into Lincoln County shortly. Here is the big picture. You can see the big supercell structure of the storm right now as it moves off to the east this evening. We have a live crew out there trying to chase the storm. We'll hopefully get a live picture from them shortly. But again, torrential rainfall tonight, large hail, tornadoes are all possible this evening, and especially the hail threat too is high for the entire area. The immediate tornado threat is with this tornado right here, again across southern Price County. Here's our Doppler radar feature. You can see there's a very good view of that right of Ogema. You need to be in your basement right now or in an interior closet. You can see the circulation is right over you. Wherever you have the reds combining with the greens, that is where the center of the circulation is. That is a tornado on the ground moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. Spirit, you are up next. If you're listening to me from Spirit, if you can see me from Spirit, keep your TV on, but go find a safe spot so you can hear my voice. You can stay from the storm, as you can see either below ground in your basement or put as many walls between you and the outside world as you possibly can, because this storm has done damage. We saw pictures earlier in Rusk County of structures, literally structures that were blown over down to their foundations, right? So this storm has done damage. No reports of any injuries right now, but we're getting many reports of large hail, many reports of power outages, many reports of flooding, and torrential rainfall with this storm as well. So here we go. Right there's the tornado right in there. It's going to move to the east at 40 miles per hour. And yeah, you can see there it means business as this storm is really kind of regenerating itself again. And it has done business for the last hour across the region. Here's a look at our current sky cam, and you can see the clouds have thickened across the Northwoods. Here is Rhinelander. These storms look eerie, don't they? Like they're hiding something in there, but they're just latent with moisture this evening. The air is very humid, very buoyant. If you're outside today, you know we got that hour of sunshine or so, just made the instability in the atmosphere just crazy. All that air wanted to lift because hot air rises, and that's what these storms are tapping into tonight. So we have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. This is somehow needs to rain itself out, which is why we have a flash flood watch. And in fact, for much of the area tonight into tomorrow as well, we could see 1 to 4 inches of rain out of this system before we get to Friday. Most of the rain should occur tomorrow, but our immediate threat right now is this tornado warning. Again, this is Price County right here. Here is Lincoln County moving right over here. So this is in southern Price County. It is just to the south here, just to the west of Toma, moving to the east near 40 miles per hour. It has a history, a long history. These are typically the storms you see in Oklahoma or the Midwest, where they have this long-lived duration to them, but the structure to this storm is just so great. It is held together. It has all the tools it needs. It has a lot of warm, moist air coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. It has a warm front over the region. It has shear, meaning the winds aloft are going in different directions. It's causing this storm to spin. What that's done, it's spun. It's spun up and produced a tornado, and it's been a long-lived tornado as it really developed back toward the Minnesota-Wisconsin border. It's moved to the east at 40 miles per hour, sometimes a little bit slower, the last hour and a half. So you hear about long-duration tornado events like this in Kansas, in Oklahoma, in Texas, not always in northern Wisconsin, but we're seeing this tonight, which is why we're on the air with you, breaking into live programming to keep you safe. That's our primary job, and we take it seriously. We want you to listen to this, and if you're in these areas, Ogema, Spirit, Tomahawk, you need to take cover immediately as this storm is moving your direction now, moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. It has a history of producing damage, structures blown over. Again, no reports of injuries yet, but hopefully we won't get any of those. But, who's to say as we get further into this, as the storm means business and has done damage off to the west. I can hear the rain, the heavy rain here at the station right now. But here's that tornado here. Here's Prentice. Here is Highway 13. It is moving to the east, just to the south of Highway 8. You can see there. And yeah, it's had a long track now of producing a tornado, with not just being indicated by Doppler radar, which you see here, wherever you see the reds combining with the greens, that's indicative of circulation on the radar, and that's what we have right there, and it's typically where you find the tornado too, on the southwest portion of the main circulation or the whole mesocyclone. That's where you see the circulation occur, and that's exactly where we have it right now. Again, this storm means business. Again, this has been a long duration event, really starting back toward the Minnesota-Wisconsin border, moving through Rusk County, moving through Price County, doing damage along the way, held together. We're going to be reading about this one for several years and when we get the reports back shortly, because we're going to see this one's doing damage across the region and continues to do so. So here currently is where it's going next. So Spirit, you're up next, 7:42, right? So look at your watch, see what time it is right now. You can see I have that much time to be safe. So get to your safe spot right now. It's going to move to the east about 40 miles per hour. Up next then will be Tomahawk at 8:07. Then you're up next too. And then Irma 2 and then Gleason as well. So this storm, we have no reason to think why it should not stay together. It has done so for the last 100 or miles or so and continues to do so across the Northwoods right now. Switching over to our hail feature. So here's Prentice. Here is Highway 8 right there, you can see. And we are measuring 2.9-inch hail in the storm. So when we do this, it gives us a really good idea of how strong the updrafts in these storms are. As we see hail between 2.5 and 3 inches, it tells us the updrafts are just amazing. This is air that can be lifted up at 80, 90 miles per hour, and it's happening right now with this tornado-warned storm as it moves to the east near 40 miles per hour. So if you're in your car, you do not want to encounter this, right? Because this is hail of almost 3 inches in diameter, almost making it to the surface. So if you're in your car on any of these roads here, as we move closer to the metro area, you can see we're in trouble. You want to be off these roads. If you're on Highway 8 moving west, it looks like you're going to be safe from this as the bulk of the hail core is moving just south of Prentice. You're going to encounter some really heavy rain through here near Brantwood. Most likely need to pull over. Your wipers can't keep up with it, but the hail looks like it's going to stay to your south, and you can see here across portions of 86 and 102 across Highway 13 right now. And I'm interested to see if we get reports back from Ogema to see what happened in Ogema, because that circulation was right over the town of Ogema and is moving to the east now at 40 miles per hour. So up next is Spirit. Spirit, if you can hear my voice, right? Don't look at me anymore. Go to your safe spot. Keep the TV or radio on so you can still hear me. I'll keep you safe if I can. But you need to get into an interior room of your house. most likely protected by the most walls you can. So what works best usually is an interior closet, interior bathroom where the plumbing keeps you safe. Just no windows around, and then you want to stay there. If you have a basement, that's the best place to go. Oh, here's Doppler radar again, and look, it's cycling again. It almost looks here like it's getting stronger again. So the brighter the reds and the brighter the greens, you can see here we almost have two. We might have two here now forming. We'll have to wait and see what we get back from the Weather Service in terms of if they're going to warn this storm here. That looks very interesting on Doppler radar right now. But again, Doppler radar, yep, there's a new warning came out right now. You can see for southern Price County, has moved into Lincoln County as well. This is a real-time, real-live situation. This is a long-lived, long-duration, strong tornado on the ground. It's been just south of Highway 8 for the last hour, hour and a half. It is held together. It's held its structure. It means business. It's done damage. It's also creating large hail and gusty winds as well. But here's that. As the greens get brighter and the reds get brighter here, that's indicative of stronger circulation. That's a more powerful tornado. And again, this is confirmed. This is not just the radar saying, oh, we have circulation in the sky. No, we have more than that. We have a confirmed tornado on the ground moving to the east at 40 miles per hour, just to the south now of Timms Hill. It'd be right there. If you can see that, that's where the circulation would be the most intense. Again, so here, is Highway 86. Highway 8 is further to the north. It's been moving due east at about 40 miles per hour. So Timms Hill, you're in the gun right now. The bullseye is on you right now. Up next is Spirit. Spirit, if you can hear me, find your safe spot right now. This is a real-life situation. Just, take care of your life and property, but life definitely comes first. You want to find an interior closet or a bathroom to stay safe from the storm, or underground, right? If you're on any of these roads, it's not best to be on these roads. So again, underpasses are not safe. You want to stay away from the storm, right? So if you're on these roads, you want to go south or north from it, because the system is moving due east at about 40 miles per hour and has really not changed that direct trajectory for the last, 45 to 50 minutes or so. So we continue to watch this for you. This is not the only circulation here in town, or the only problem here in town. As I widen back the picture, you can see we have other problems in the area. As I look back to the south and west, look at this situation right in here. This looks to me like it could be another tornado trying to form right in there. You see how the couplet right there with the reds touching the greens? That's indicative of circulation. Now, this may be a loft. We have no reports right now from storm spotters or from law enforcement of this actually reaching the ground, but we're going to have to keep an eye on this just to the north and the east here of Molitor as it moves to the east here at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. Rib Lake is right there, so Rib Lake, you are in the direct path of that storm. So again, we have other situations out there as well. So if you're in yellow or orange on this map, Tomahawk, Gleason, Merrill, Rhinelander, Rib Lake, I can hear thunder out there right now. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. All right, so this is winds 55 miles per hour or greater, golf ball size hail. You could be experiencing power outages with this as it moves through, but these are straight line winds, right? Or if you were in red, just to the south here of Prentice, this is a tornado warning. This is one we've been talking about and following for the last hour and a half as it moves to the east at about 40 miles per hour, about to move into Lincoln County and Tomahawk. You are in the direct path of this storm, right? So now is the time. It is held together. We have no reason to think it won't hold together in Tomahawk. It is held together from here all the way back into the Minnesota border. So it's not going to fall apart anytime soon. It has tons of moisture to work with. It has tons of instability aloft to work with. It has tons of radiant heat to work with. And it is doing so tonight as this spin right in there is moving to the east at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. Now, there are other storms back behind it, as you know. Ashland County, you had a thunderstorm warning earlier today. We had golf ball size hail reported there. And you're getting another storm right now, a severe warning storm right now. So again, that is winds of 55 miles per hour or golf ball size hail. Either one, they're not good. And then over here to the south, you can see much of the area is getting a lot of rain currently as the system pulls off to the east at about 40 miles per hour. And many of these storms, as you get into Oneida County, are also warned. We had reports of 55-mile-per-hour winds. If you see a little symbol right there, that's a report of torrential rainfall and flooding. That's what's happening there just to the south or just to the north and east of Harrison. So be careful there if you're in a low-lying area. These storms are also, this whole system is also moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. So here's here's Harrison. Let's dive in here real fast because this storm means business as well. It is not circulating. It's not spinning. This is a severe warning storm for a thunderstorm, not a tornado, but it has a hail core of 2.6 inches in diameter hail core, so not as strong as the one back to the west by Prentice, but this is also strong. It means business. It will do damage to your car, damage to your house, damage to you if you do not get out of its way. So get out of its way. Let's move out of its way. See you later. Get out of its way. If you are to the east of this, you are in the direct path of this storm because it is moving due east at about 40 miles per hour. On this path, there's a little bit of a northern jog this storm is too as well. You can see there it is going to pass over Highway 8 right across there. And moving, you can see there, moving over a northward jaunt to this system right now. But it'll move into Monaco right there, and you can move up toward Three Lakes as well. So again, take cover from this storm. This is hail. We'll stretch it out for you. You can see who's in the path of this storm here as it's moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So Monaco, you're up next. Peel is up next too. Hiles at 8:15. Argonne at 8:19. And Caswell at 8:31. This storm is severe warning for hail and high winds. Okay? There is not currently a tornado with this storm. That storm is still back over here to our west. And we'll go there now just to kind of get a recap of it and see exactly where it is. And there it is right now. So here we are. Let's get our bearings straight here. Here's Prentice. Prentice is right there. Hi, Prentice. And then here's Highway 8. Nokima is right there. Here's Somo. This tornado is just to the south and east now of Prentice. It's about 7 miles south of Highway 8. We can turn on the Doppler feature. We can see exactly where that is. There it is right now. So wherever you see the reds and the greens really intersect right there, that is a tornado. This is not any tornado. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground by law enforcement, by trained storm spotters. We've been watching this storm for the last hour and a half since it entered western Wisconsin over an hour and a half ago. And you can see there that we have
tornado warning for Lincoln until 8:30.
We have a new tornado warning now for Lincoln County until 8:30. What this means, this is that storm we've been talking about. It's now moving out of Price County and moving into Lincoln County. This tornado warning will be in effect until 8:30 this evening. So Tomahawk, you are still in the direct path of this storm. We have no reason to think that this storm is going to lift before it reaches Tomahawk. Okay? So Tomahawk, if you can hear me now, if you can see me now, probably a good idea to stop seeing me and keep the radio or keep the TV volume on and find your safe spot as this storm is following right to the south of Highway 8. It's moving just to the south of Prentice and moving toward your direction. So it has a long history, an hour and a half long history now of producing a tornado. And again, we generally see or talk about these kind of situations across the Great Plains, right? We're talking about Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas. But no, we have it in Wisconsin right now, and if you're in Tomahawk, you're going to be directly impacted by this system as a tornado is on the ground, confirmed by law enforcement, just to the south of Highway 8. We're now at about, so here's Prentice, here's Ogema. It tracked right over Ogema about 10 minutes ago. No reports there yet coming out of Ogema. Hopefully everything is safe there. Moving to the east, southeast a little bit at about 40 miles per hour. So Rib Lake is right there. This is where the circulation is currently. Okay, and we have two of them. So one circulation is right here where the reds meet the greens. That is moving off to the east at about 40 miles per hour. Just to the southwest of Rib Lake is another circulation right here. This one is not tornado warned yet. I haven't seen reports for it currently. But again, that is a circulation being indicated by Doppler radar, which looks at the storm and says, okay, are the winds in this storm moving toward or away from the radar site? And when you can do that, you can see if those winds have a spin to it. And when you have the reds meeting the greens, that means you have a spin, and that means a confirmed circulation in the cloud. Now, no one I know of has confirmed this yet, but this looks very interesting to me, as this could be another developing tornado here, as it is also moving to the east, northeast here at about 40 miles per hour. So Rib Lake, you need to take cover right now. If you're in Tomahawk, you need to take cover right now, as this entire storm has this whole mesocyclone right here. It's a huge structure. It is held together. Look at this. Look how defined this is. This is what you see across Oklahoma. Well, we studied for years in college, right? This is what's happening across north central Wisconsin right now as it moves to the east at about 40 miles per hour. So Tomahawk, you are in the direct path of the storm. So let's review real quick of what you need to do. if you can hear my voice, great, right? But now it's time to take precautionary for you to protect your life and your property, all right? So find a safe spot in your house. If you have no basement at all, you can go into an interior closet, interior bathroom. You can grab sheets, pillows, mattresses, whatever you need to grab. Put as much room between you and the outside world as you possibly can to protect you from flying debris. We have pictures and reports of structural damage being done by this storm, a confirmed tornado on the ground. It's been on the ground now for about, I would say, I'm going to measure it, but probably close to 100 miles as it worked across parts of Rusk County into Price County as well. It started back there in Minnesota. This looks to me, this is textbook mesocyclone. The tornado would be in the southwest quadrant of the storm. It's located right there. And what's interesting to me too is this looks like it's back building. It's going to form another circulation back this direction, also moving to the east. So this is not warned yet. I don't think Chad will tell me when as soon as it is, but this one also looks very interesting on Doppler radar, as it could have a confirmed rotation with it there. But Lincoln County, you are under the gun right now. Price County, your warning is now over. Okay? So if you are in Price County, you can breathe a sigh of relief if you made it through the storm. Again, we're getting reports of damage, no reports of any injuries right now. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning. We see it blinking right there for parts of Oneida County. This includes Rhinelander. So Rhinelander, you're up next. Okay? This is not a tornado-warned storm in Rhinelander. This is a severe thunderstorm-warned storm in Rhinelander, which means we can say, definitively that the winds could be 55 miles per hour or greater with golf ball size hail, and that could do damage to your life and also to your property. So now is the time to take precautions. Pull in the patio furniture, pull in the garbage can, make sure your neighbors are safe. Anything loose hanging out in your backyard, just grab it and pull it inside for now, because these straight line winds out of this system can do damage. We've seen it time and time again, this spring, with the straight line wind damage we saw occurring, or it could knock over trees and now cause your power to go out for a week at a time. We saw that earlier this month too across the region. So here's the wider picture. So the warnings right now are parts of Oneida County into Lincoln County, back toward Price County too. Again, to the west, it's looking a little better back here with just some heavy rain potential here. These are not warned storms back in this direction. However, this storm is. So across parts of Lincoln County, you're under the gun next with a tornado warning is still in effect for you. And again, this is that structure. I can go over to Doppler radar once again and I can show you. It has a spin to it. It's had a spin to it for a very long time. Right? So here's Doppler radar, and what it does is it sends a beam out. It looks at the wind in the atmosphere, a couple thousand feet above the surface, and it says, is that air moving toward the radar or away from the radar? All right? And when you do that, you can definitively show where the air is spinning. Now, this may be in the atmosphere, right, a couple thousand feet up. However, we have law enforcement and trained spotters reporting on this storm, and they see it on the ground. It's done damage back in Rusk County. All right? No reports of any injuries yet. But we do have a lot of reports of some flooding, some hail, and this tornado has been on the ground for a good, I would say, I don't know exactly, but 50, 60 miles as it's moved out of western Wisconsin into eastern Wisconsin. So here we are. Here's Timms Hill right here. It passed by Prentice earlier too, and right over Ogema. No reports out of Ogema yet, but this storm has moved out to the east since then. It's moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. So on that path, look what's downstream, all right? We got Tomahawk right here. Tomahawk is a pretty large populated area there, and this tornado is coming your direction. It is still on the ground, and it means business. It's done damage back in Rusk County. It's confirmed on the ground by storm spotters and law enforcement.
Right now,
and it's been
indicated, but still
okay.
pretty
So just got word that right now this storm has gone radar indicated. So right now the spotters do not see the funnel on the ground. That does not mean it will not come back, okay? There's still a very defined circulation right here. Let's stay on this map right now. You can see right where the reds move into the greens, that's a circulation. So right now, this is looking from the radar site a couple thousand feet up into the atmosphere. Okay, so right now, the spotters and law enforcement are saying this tornado is not on the ground. That's great news, right? Let's get rid of this thing. See you later. Get it out of here. It's been on the ground for, an hour and a half to 2 hours across much of north central Wisconsin. We can say see you later, but it's still defined here by Doppler radar as a spin aloft. All right? So this entire mesocyclone, this whole thunderstorm is still spinning, which could spin up a tornado again at any time. So we need to be ready for that. So if you're in Tomahawk, get ready, right? It's looking better for you, but this storm is still just off to your west. It is moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour, and it could be in your backyard in the next 30 to 40 minutes. I'm going to have Chad draw up real quickly here who's in the path of the storm now as it continues to move to the east at about 40 miles per hour, and it's done so really across much of really central and western Wisconsin for the last 2 hours. And there's a drawing of where it's going to go next. And on this current trajectory, on this current speed, it's going to hit West Craft at 8:08, Irma at 8:13, Birch at 8:16, Gleason 8:25, Parrish at 8:30, and then Bavaria here at 8:33. So if you just heard your town mentioned, okay, things are looking better for you. However, this tornado is still radar indicated, meaning there's a spin with this entire circulation right here across Lincoln County as it moves to the east at about 40 miles per hour. Right now we're getting reports that the spotters that are chasing this, and have been since western Wisconsin way back when, right, they do not see a confirmed circulation on the ground. That's great news. Let's get rid of this thing. However, it does not mean that this entire cyclone is not spinning that could redevelop a tornado at any time. So let's take our precautions. Let's be safe and get ready for this, as other circulations now look really impressive on radar. So let's draw out this feature right here. So here's Rhinelander, here's Harrison, over here is Elko. Between Elko and Harrison, there's a really interesting feature right there. If I can zoom into that feature real fast, this looks to me, see how bright the colors are here? Looks to me like a new circulation trying to form. Look how bright that is. You get the bright greens and the bright purples there. That means business. That means a circulation. So again, this could be radar indicated, meaning this radar beam shows this aloft, a couple thousand feet in the atmosphere. It may not be at the surface. However, it could descend to the surface at any given moment. So with that said, if you are in these areas here, and here's Bundy right there, to the east is Pelican Lake, there's Enterprise right there. So again, this is moving to the, I'd probably say what, northeast here slightly at about 40 miles per hour with this whole general system as it moves to the east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So yeah, this one has more of a northeastern trajectory. These are out ahead of the main bulk of the storm back over here to the west still. So these are discrete supercells which are just notorious for spinning up really quick circulations that do damage, right? It can happen very quickly. They're typically smaller tornadoes, but again, this is not indicated yet on the ground, but it could be at any given moment as this system continues to develop more tornadoes across the region. And let's see if we get some damage reports here across.
Funnel cloud at 746.
All right, we have a funnel cloud reported at 746 near Spirit. So again, right along Highway 102. So if you're in Spirit, this tornado was near your area, or is near your area. And again, what we're seeing now is it looks like this storm is trying to regenerate itself. So we had this major tornado here that's been on the ground forever, since western Wisconsin, following Highway 8 as it moves to the east, all right? And then now, all of a sudden, we have other little circulations trying to develop out ahead of the main circulation here. So you have one there, there's a big one there, there's one here, there's some more out over this direction toward Harrison. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this. The ones out ahead of the big circulation are typically the ones that spin up really fast. And here's the current composite radar image. You can see here's Anago, here's Merrill, here's Rhinelander. Again, Rhinelander, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. But I want to show you too, look at how slow these storms are moving right through here. I would not be surprised to get some flash flood warnings out of the system as it continues to train or has the same rain flow over and over and over the same area over and over again. That leads to flooding, and again, we have that risk of flooding this evening where we can see 1 to 4 inches of rain, and for that reason we have a flash flood advisory in effect for much of the area through tomorrow, and we're getting some reports now of damage coming in. Yeah, I'm looking at pictures now of Sheddick, and you know, these are indicative of pictures I've seen living back in Oklahoma. I'm looking at literally neighborhoods that have been wiped clean. It looks like a trailer park where all I see is foundations. And typically when you see that, that's indicative of maybe an EF3 tornado-ish, which are winds of 150-ish miles per hour. So this is no kidding. This storm meant business, and it means business still. It's regenerating right now. Currently across our neck of the woods, we have severe thunderstorm warnings and a tornado warning right there, still in effect for Lincoln County. Tomahawk, you are up next for this storm. So if this storm holds together, and we do not think it won't, right, as it moves to the east, you could be under the gun with this storm until the next, say, 30 to 40 minutes or so. So Tomahawk, you are the next majorly populated area to be in effect with this storm, but all of Lincoln County is under a tornado warning right now. Severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect for parts of Oneida County as well, and so back to the east, or back to the west. This means that there are severe thunderstorms. However, they are not tornadic right now, right? So it could mean golf ball size hail. It could mean straight line winds of 55 miles per hour. And we see on the radar, you can see, if I go back to the radar site, this is a lot of rain falling in here. Look at this. This is all these bright reds. And if you put it in motion, they're not moving very fast, right? So for that reason, we have a flash flood advisory in effect through tomorrow, or flash flood watch. And these are going to train over the same area just to the south of Rhinelander again. So I wouldn't be surprised here if we saw a couple of flash flood warnings come out here shortly, as these rains or these storms are dropping torrential rains, possibly in the 1 to 4 inch category over a very quick amount of time. So currently, all the warnings, so there we are in Lincoln County, tornado warning. All right, so a long-lived, long-duration, strong tornado that has done damage in parts of Rusk County has moved into Price County and now into Lincoln County as it continues to move almost due east. Okay, there it is. We can see it. Here's Tomahawk. It would be right back in here. There it is, right there. And this, to me, this looks good. This looks like this circulation is falling apart a little bit, all right? So let's keep our fingers crossed that that's what's happening, because we want this to fall apart. As Tomahawk, you are not far away. If I have Chad on here draw the tool of how many miles this is farther away from Tomahawk, I can show you we're probably within, what, 15? Yeah, we're within 15 miles. So we're within 11 miles right there as it moves to the east at 40 miles per hour. So that's going to be in your backyard pretty quick. Now, right now, we do not have a confirmed report of a tornado with this system. Here's Spirit right now. This is where we just had that funnel cloud reported, okay? So with this system, this is not associated with the storm we had earlier. That was one over here. So we have a new circulation back to the west near Spirit, and towns in that path are Westcraft, Harrison there, Parish, Bavaria. So again, the same locations are under the gun once again. Lincoln County, Price County under fire here from this situation as these storms continue to develop across the west, move to the east at almost due east near 40 miles per hour. Now, the rest of the region has a lot of rainfall as well. You can see here on the radar, look at all this rain. The bulk of the rain is still across portions of Oneida County into Lincoln County, back to the west. Still, this entire branch is moving to the east here at 40 miles per hour. And you know, if you've been outside, how muggy it is, right? We got that burst of sunshine for a couple hours this afternoon. That gave a lot of instability to the atmosphere. These storms said, hey, I'm going to take advantage of that. And they've done so this evening. And they've created a long-lived, long-duration tornado that really began. I had Chad pull back here. You can see this tornado. We're going to read about this in the books for a while, because it began way back here, just in the southeast here of the Twin Cities, and it moved up toward us, and it's been on the ground for, that's probably what, like 50, 60, if not longer, miles off and on, confirmed tornado on the ground. So that system now is, it looks like, there it is. So between back to the west and now 100, yeah, this one's for the history books here, folks, because this does not happen often in central Wisconsin. It is happening right now. On the surface, it looks like the largest tornado that we've seen so far is falling apart a little bit across Lincoln counties. Still producing hail, still producing high winds, still producing a lot of heavy rain, but a smaller circulation is now developed back towards Spirit, right? That's developing a funnel cloud reported with this system. So here's Tomahawk. This was what's left of the big circulation we saw that's been on the ground forever. Over here is Spirit, a confirmed funnel cloud back over in this direction. So there may be something trying to form right in here. We're keeping an eye on that for you, but this is still the warning storm right there. Whenever you see the red there, kind of intersecting with the greens, that's indicative of a circulation. That is occurring right now across portions of Lincoln County. That is moving, it looks like, just to the south of Tomahawk as it moves there. And it looks like they're trying to regenerate something right in here. Again, this whole mesocyclone is textbook. It is textbook. It has instability. It has shear, which is different wind directions aloft. It has, a crazy, well-defined mesocyclone with this, and a lot of instability and a lot of tools to play with, including really warm temperatures today and a lot of humidity. And that's what causes this. And we've seen it all day today. So let's try to go over to max 2 if we can. Control room, if we can go over to max 2. Here is video or pictures of Sheddick. You can see here, this looks to me like it was a trailer park, or is a trailer park, where the storm came through right here. Again, this is probably about 45 minutes ago. We've been tracking the storm through Sheddick earlier as it moved through Rusk County. But again, these are trailer parks or trailer homes. People live in these that were knocked off their foundation and completely destroyed. Right? So to me, as someone trained to look at this stuff, this looks like an EF2 tornado-ish, maybe even stronger if it got stronger than that as it worked through this neighborhood. And we're seeing many reports of this and video of this on Facebook right now and Twitter showing damage across parts of Rusk County with this long-lived, long-duration tornado that's done damage across parts of Price County, back into Rusk County, and now into Lincoln County. We can go back over to max 1 if you would, and I can show you the radar. This is what's left of that big circulation with that mesocyclone, the tornado that's been on the ground forever, moving across parts of Rusk, Price, and Lincoln counties. This is shown. People are saying that this is not on the ground right now. It was earlier. Again, this storm can recycle at any time. But look at this. We're only 9 miles away from Tomahawk, right? So if you're in Tomahawk and you can hear my voice right now, this is the time to get into your safe spot, all right? So keep your TV on, turn the volume up, listen to me, but find your safe room just to be safe. Our jobs are here to keep you safe. We take it very seriously, and we want you to get through this, and you will, but take some precautions here because this storm has done damage. It's created a lot of damage to the west. Again, no reports of injuries yet, but we've seen the pictures coming in now slowly of what it's done to trailer homes and damaged structures out to the west. We have no indication that that didn't do that in parts of Price County and Lincoln County as well. So we're going to continue to watch this as it is just to the south, and you can see there right there. Moving a little bit to the east, maybe a little bit slightly to the northeast here. So Scanawan, you're up next. Harrison's up next too. Parrish at 8:32. So again, if this continues to move at about 40 miles per hour to the west, or to the east, sorry, it'll be in your backyard in the next 15 to 30 minutes here in Tomahawk. So we need to make sure we take our precautions here. And if we see, there's that little circulation right there that drew up earlier. All right, that's not the main, and the main circulation was down to the south here a little bit. So, we're definitely watching. All of this could spin up. The whole thing is spinning, right? It's a large mesocyclone. It's done damage back to the west. But I'll look at the radar site right now and look at the heavy rainfall. I can hear the rain on the roof right now. We have areas that are going to see a lot of training tonight, right? So what that means is we're going to have round after round after round of showers and storms develop. This could lead to some flooding this evening as 1 to 4 inches of rainfall are forecast for parts of the area. That will do some damage to the lakes and the rivers, right? So we've had a lot of rain so far. We had a dry week last week, but this week has been just the opposite, as you know. The rain is very loud here at the station currently, and that's what's happening across parts of Rhinelander, back toward Tomahawk, back toward Rib Lake, and these are not moving very fast. Here's our hail feature. I haven't looked at that in a while. We can see how the updrafts are doing. So again, large hail kind of defines how healthy a storm is. So if you have really large hail, the updrafts, or the wind going into the storm, is rising very quickly into the storm, probably in the recommended 80, 90 miles per hour cruising hail here of 2.7 inches in diameter. So that means that's a loft. So that's in the cloud. It does not mean that hail is reaching the surface. However, we've had reports of golf ball size hail. This is Spirit right here, right along Highway 86 right there. You can see a lot of problems with that. If you're driving on these roads toward Tomahawk, if you're in Tomahawk, do not drive west. You'll run right into a hail core, possibly golf ball size hail that will do damage to your car very quickly. Let's let these storms pass, get the cars under shelter, and we'll let things go from there. So again, keep your weather savvy tonight. Keep your weather radio tuned in. Keep us tuned in here at Newswatch 12. We're going to keep you advised of this. We've had a long duration tornado event this evening, ones you don't often see in, Wisconsin. These are indicative of things you see across Oklahoma. All right, to have a tornado on the ground for maybe 100 miles. Again, it hasn't been measured yet by the National Weather Service, but we've been tracking it for a good, 2 hours across the region. We still have a tornado warning in effect until 8:30 for Lincoln County. That includes Tomahawk. It also includes Gleason. Rhinelander, you're under the gun right now for a severe thunderstorm warning. Again, no tornadoes for you right now. However, this could mean wind gusts near 50 miles per hour. It could also, or 55 miles per hour. It could also mean large hail, golf ball size hail. And we've had reports also of some tree damage, I'm sure, and then some wind damage too. But the big story so far has been this big tornado we've watched really since coming together back to the west. It developed just to the south and east of Minneapolis, right? Blew up and then traveled all the way to the east, and right now it is right there. Look at this. So we can zoom that out. You can see that. That is textbook. This whole system is a mesocyclone. This whole storm is rotating. This one's going to be in the books for a while, folks, because this does not happen very often in Wisconsin, but it's happening tonight. But we're going to get through this because I think we're about done with this. As you can see right there, as the storm moves, following just to the south of Highway 8, it is currently, now it looks like it's more defined once again, as it is now in almost central Lincoln County. So here's Tomahawk. Here's Rock Falls. The tornado is just to your west. It is right here. So here's Doppler radar. Wherever you see the reds combining with bright colors, like the bright green and the bright purple here, that is indicative of circulation, right? So the radar is seeing circulation. This thing is spinning. It may be on the ground. It may not be. We had reports a little while ago that this was not on the ground at the moment. But again, this storm has a long history, 100 miles or more history of being on the ground, creating damage. We saw those reports and we saw those pictures of trailer homes being destroyed in parts of Rusk County. Again, no reports of injuries on that yet, but our newsroom is working on that currently. We're trying to figure out, how many injuries there are, if any. But again, we're here to keep you safe. So if you hear my voice, we want to keep you safe. So if you're in Tomahawk, you're in pretty good shape. That is just to your south. If you're in Rock Falls, it's going to go between you and Tomahawk as the system moves to the east, almost due east, at 40 miles per hour. So we have a viewer report now of our low rotating wall cloud with a funnel in its 5 miles east of Medford. All right, so this is as about 5 or 6 minutes ago. So 5 miles east of Medford. This is that storm we've been tracking for the last hour and a half to 2 hours as we are now working past 8 o'clock this evening. This has been on the ground for literally hours, folks. A textbook mesocyclone, tornadic supercell, moving across central Wisconsin, moving almost due east for the past 2 hours after it formed in really eastern Minnesota. And this is that system right now. So reports of funnel clouds with this. Right now, the last report we had was that this was not on the ground, which is great. We'll keep you safe. Great. Keep it off the ground. That's a good place to be. But if you're between Tomahawk and Rock Falls, this is going to squeeze right between you. If you are on these roads, so 107 and 51, 39, get off of them. All right, so drive south, drive north. It's moving almost due east right now. If you're not hit by a tornado with this, you'll be hit by large hail, golf ball size hail, and that'll do damage to your car too. So just the best case scenario is just avoid it. For those of you between Tomahawk and Irma right now, heading over towards Scanoa, you can see you can see that's where it's going to go. So if this circulation right here, which looks to me on Doppler radar, it's a broad circulation now. So before we had kind of a well-defined spin, now it's kind of widened out. So this can mean two things, right? One is it's falling apart, which would be great news. Let's get it to go away. See you later. Two could mean it's strengthening, right? And these are those storms you read about in the books and you see in Oklahoma that widen their base and they enlarge, and the wind circulation fields enlarge, and they create a long duration, larger tornado. So no reports of that right now from people on the ground, which is law enforcement chasing this. Also, several, really reporting agencies following the storm. But if you're between Tomahawk and Gleason and Merrill right now, if you hear my voice, you need to go to your safe spot. So keep the volume up on your TV. And just find a room that gives you as much space as you can between the outside world and you. Grab some pillows, grab some blankets, grab some mattresses. Let's keep yourself safe. This storm is moving toward you and has a long history now of producing a tornado. So what we know right now in Barron County, the Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald says there is 1 fatality and at least 25 people injured between Chedok and Cameron. So just to repeat, this is why we're on the air with you right now, keeping you safe. In Barron County, Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald reports 1 fatality, at least 25 people injured between Chedok and Cameron. Okay, so yes, these are the reports coming in. This is how serious this storm has been. This storm is not over. Currently, it is between Tomahawk, which is right here, and Merrill, which is right there. It's going to cross over 51, right? So if you hear me on the radio right now and you're on 51, you need to either go north or you need to go south. Get out of the way of this because it has produced damage, it has produced injuries, it has produced fatalities. And again, this is not a situation to take lightly. This situation is moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. It's going to pass Highway 51. On radar right now, this looks like it's trying to strengthen. My fingers are crossed that it's not trying to do that. But again, this storm has had this huge history of cycling over and over and over again, and it continues to do so tonight. Now it is just to the south of Tomahawk, just to the north of Merrill. It's going to pass over Highway 51. We've all driven this road. We know what's there, right? So if you're on that road, get away from it. Just stay away from it. It means business. We saw those reports earlier of the trailer park, which was partially destroyed. We have reports now from the Sheriff Fitzgerald of a fatality and at least 25 injuries. Right? So let's take this serious. And I know you have been. If you hear my voice, you're between Tomahawk and you're between Irma, find your safe spot. So interior closet, interior bathroom, grab some pillows, put some helmets on the kids' heads if you can. But this is the time to take cover as it's moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. Look at this. This is not good, folks. The gate-to-gate shear here, which is indicative of strength for us, is 100 miles per hour, right, and the velocity minus 71. So by those measurements, it looks like this is trying to strengthen once again, right? So again, if you hear my voice between Tomahawk and Irma, this storm is trying to strengthen once again. The circulation, to me, doesn't look like it looks broader than it did before. So look how wide this area is now, meaning the wind circulation is wider. All right? That means more people will be affected by this circulation. Okay? So we're getting reports of funnel clouds from this. Again, no reports of this on the ground currently, but this is the same circulation across Lincoln County right now that moved across Price County and Rusk County and back toward Minnesota, and it's done a lot of damage tonight. It's done a lot of injuries to people, and also that 1 confirmed report now of a fatality from this tornado as it has moved across central Wisconsin this evening. So a tornado warning is still in effect for Lincoln County, and I would say this is central Lincoln County right now. We're talking between Tomahawk and Gleason. If you're to the west of this, you're pretty much in the safe now. There's still some heavy rain back this direction, but the main circulation is now ended. If you are in Rhinelander or parts of Oneida County, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, so that means winds could gust near 55 miles per hour or so. Also, we could have a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning, and also some hail the size of golf balls with this system. That's in effect until 8:30 tonight, as well as the tornado warning for Lincoln County. So we just need to get rid of this thing. What we need to do is cause trouble all night long. We need to say, see you later, and it needs to go away. But judging by the radar, it doesn't look like it wants to do that. This is the entire mesocyclone. So this whole thing is spinning. This whole thing is spinning. The circulation, if you read about it in textbooks, generally you see a tornado in the southwest portion of the spin, right? So that would be right down in here. That is where we have reports of a tornado right now. Right now, the reports are it's not reaching the ground. However, we've also seen reports of funnel clouds being reported. Here's looking outside right now in Rhinelander again. Oneida County and Rhinelander, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. So again, 55 mile per hour winds, straight line winds, 55 miles per hour or greater, golf ball size hail, vivid lightning, torrential rains. Again, I would not be surprised to get some flash flood warnings out of this tonight as these heavy rain bands are flowing over the same area over and over and over again. But we can go back over to the graphics and show you the radar. we are still tracking a tornado-warned storm that has a long history of producing a tornado all the way back toward Minnesota. It's done damage, it's caused injuries, and now it's caused a fatality. This is not something to take lightly at all. Okay? So if you hear my voice between Tomahawk, Gleason, and down in the south, you can see this is where it is right now. It's heading directly almost toward Gleason. Here's the current radar picture. You can see where it's at, and it's moving right in there. We'll dive in here and get a close-up of it right in there. So just to the south of Tomahawk right now as it moves off to the east at about 40 miles per hour, and we just need to get rid of this. But it looks like it wants to strengthen once again, but again, no reports that on radar or confirmed reports that right now via the law enforcement who is chasing this storm or the storm spotters who are chasing the storm as well. So here we go. Lots of heavy rain across the area as well. Again, Rutland, you're right there. The station is about right here. I can tell you right now, it's loud on the roof. It's raining heavily at the station right now. But just back to our south and to our west, this is where the tornado warned storm has been. It's been warned for a couple hours now, all the way back toward western Wisconsin, moving due east along Highway 8. It's done damage across parts of Price County and Rusk County. And here it is. So this is our Doppler radar feature. It looks at the storm and it says, okay, which way are the winds flowing in relation to the radar site? Right? So when we get that, we can tell if the winds are flowing toward or away from the site. So wherever you see a couplet here of red and green, that is spin. Spin in the atmosphere and maybe at the surface. So this Doppler picture looks to me like a large wedge tornado, right? However, this may not be reaching the ground right now. Right? So we have reports of funnel clouds, but again, the spin may not be at the surface currently. But again, if you are in the path of this, if you're near Irma, if you're near Harrison, if you're near Parrish, this is moving your direction. All right? So this could drop a tornado at any time. So let's review what to do. If you hear my voice and you're in the path of this storm, right, let's put a lot of walls between you and the outside world. So find that interior closet, interior bathroom. Find a safe spot where you can get into where you can be safe. If you have kids, find their bike helmets, put a helmet on their head, grab some mattresses, grab some pillows if you can. If you have a basement, go there, right? Keep your TV on, listen to my voice if you can. If you're driving in your car and you're on 39, it's passing, I'm sorry, 51. It's passing 51 right now, okay? So you want to get out of the way of this system, right? So if you hear me on the radio right now, drive north, drive south, because this system is moving almost due east right now toward the town of Parrish. So looking at the measurements, the gate to gate, things we measure, this looks like it has its act together. It really does, all right? So, all right, let's go over to Max 2 if we can real quickly. Now there's more pictures we want to show you here. Here's more pictures of, let's just take this in for a second, folks. These are scenes you typically see across Oklahoma, across Texas, across, Nebraska. We're seeing these tonight. We're seeing these tonight in Wisconsin. This is or was a mobile home park. We have reports from the Sheriff Fitzgerald of at least 25 injuries. We have a report of 1 fatality. This looks like a couch part to me, and I can't tell what the rest of this is. Okay, so I spent years chasing these things and saw scenes like this in Oklahoma, in Nebraska, and Texas, not in central Wisconsin. So this is what we're dealing with tonight. This is why we've been on the air with you for a couple hours, just chasing this storm, letting you know where it's going, staying out ahead of it to keep you safe, because we care about you. And we don't want this, you can't stop this from happening to you, but you can get out of its way and you can be safe from it. So if you are near, back over to Max 1 if we can, if you are between, let's say close to Harrison now, back toward Parrish and over to Gleason, this is the main circulation right here. This is that storm that did the damage you just saw. This is that storm that killed someone. Okay, this is moving to the east, northeast-ish at about 40 miles per hour. It means business. So if you're in the path of this, Parrish, over to Harrison, you need to get below ground, into your basement. You need to get into a place in your house that is structurally sound. So your bathroom, some place without windows, grab the kids, put helmets on their heads, grab the air mattresses, whatever you got to grab. Let's keep you safe, because this storm has killed someone. And it means business, and we're taking this seriously, as should you, as this moves off to the east very quickly here, about 40 miles per hour. So again, I'm waiting to see more reports now of actually if this is on the ground. Certainly on radar, it looks very impressive. It looks like it has a huge circulation. It looks like it should be on the ground. But we're waiting to hear reports again that confirm that it is on the ground as it works through parts of Lincoln County right now. Here is the composite radar showing exactly where the heavy rain is. The really bright reds on this is torrential rain. This is South Florida in the summer, right? This is really torrential rain. Our dew points today, or a measure of how much available moisture there is in the atmosphere, we're in the 70s. That's tropical, that's Key West, that's Aruba. That was in our backyards today. So these storms have a lot of moisture to work with, and they're working with it. All right, so they're dumping a lot of rain. Some reports of flooding are coming in. Reports of torrential rainfall is coming in. But again, this is the secondary threat to a confirmed tornado that's been on the ground for hours across central Wisconsin this evening. Okay, so here we are, May 16th, and we got a tornado we're tracking across the region, and it means business. So here we are right now. This is the Doppler radar, which measures wind velocities. Okay, so we can tell by this if the winds are moving toward or away from the radar site. Wherever you see those really bright greens meet up with the bright reds or purples, that's a spin in the atmosphere. This spin right here, hearing reports now we have a new tornado warning. I'm going to walk over here and check out where it's at. This tornado now is in effect for, the warning is now for Langlade and Lincoln counties until 9 p.m. this evening. This is for a radar-indicated tornado. So again, the same one we've been watching for hours is now radar-indicated. It is now warned for Langlade County and Lincoln County until 9 p.m. this evening. All right, so here we are. This has traveled 150 miles or so from its origination back in western Wisconsin. It is still dropping 1.75-inch hail. All right, so 1.75-inch hail, that's golf ball size hail. And that will do damage to you. That'll do damage to your car, damage to your house, damage to anything, including your pets and your animals. So keep everybody safe. We're here going live with you, staying on with you to keep you safe from the storm. It has a long duration history of producing a tornado, all right, across central and north central Wisconsin. It is confirmed to have injured at least 25 people back in Rusk County. It is also confirmed to have killed someone. All right, there's one fatality confirmed by the sheriff, Fitzgerald, from the storm back in Rusk County. So we've seen many reports and many pictures now of a trailer park that was destroyed. There are other reports and other pictures coming in as well. Our news department's all over this for you right now. We're trying to get a live shot up well too. But again, we have a lot going on right now with this circulation. So just looking at this, this looks like it's trying to get its act together again. Right? So where we have the bright reds meeting the bright greens, that's a circulation radar indicated in the atmosphere. Okay, so this beam of the radar is a couple thousand feet up over here around Tomahawk, so it sees the circulation. No reports currently of this on the ground. Right? It doesn't mean it's not. It's just no one sees it right now. Right? We're watching it for you. We're literally monitoring it every second. If we're going to track this out of where it's going, you see next is Parrish. At 8:48 is going to be Elko. Right? Pearson at 8:59, Pickerel at 9:06, Hollister, and then Wabeno. So if you just heard me say your town name, you are in the path of a tornado that has killed someone. It means business. It has destructive winds. It's done a lot of damage. It's been on the ground for hours. Okay? These are the things you hear about in Oklahoma, in Texas, Nebraska, down to the southwest. But for us, this doesn't happen very often. It's happening tonight, all right? So we need to keep you safe, which is why we're on the air with you live with this since, really, well, we came out on the air at, 6:50 or so, a couple hours of this, and, we want this thing to go away, but we're not going to leave you until it does, okay? So if you hear your town name, Parrish, you're next. You should be in your safe spot right now. So leave the TV on, hear my voice, so you can kind of hear what's going on, where it's at. We'll keep you informed, but get to your safe spot. Get to your interior closet room. Get between as many walls between you and the outside world as you possibly can. Let's keep you safe because the storm has already killed somebody. Let's not let it take another life. Okay, so please get in your safe spot. Grab the kids. Put bike helmets on their heads. Grab a mattress. Grab some pillows. If you cannot get below ground, if you can get below ground, please go below ground. Get in your basement. If you are driving anywhere near Parrish, near Elko, near Pearson, near Wabeno, we need you to get off the roads. Okay, this isn't one of those storms where you pull over under an overpass and ride this one out. You want to get out of its way. So here's how you get out of its way. It's moving directly to the east at about 40 miles per hour. If you drive north, if you drive south, you'll be out of its way. Okay, so if you hear my voice on the radio right now, if you are in the path of the storm, which means if you're near Parrish, near Elko, near Pearson, Pickerel, Hollister, that means this storm is coming your way. It has produced a long-duration, deadly tornado across north-central Wisconsin tonight. This is a developing situation. It is still working, a work in progress, right? According to Doppler radar, this looks like it should be on the ground. This looks like an intense circulation. However, right now there are no reports of this actually being on the ground. It's all radar indicated, which does not mean it's not on the ground. It just means that no one sees it right now. However, what's it doing? It's getting dark outside too. It's hard to see. So night tornadoes are oftentimes the most difficult to track, oftentimes the most deadly tornadoes you can get involved with because you can't see them coming. So if you have neighbors that live in any of these towns, if you have friends, if you have family, call them and say, hey, turn on Channel 12. We're tracking you. We're keeping you safe from this storm. All right, we're going to make this, we're going to keep you safe out of the way of this because it has already hurt people. It's already killed someone. All right, and we're going to make sure that does not happen to you. So if you are in Parrish, if you're in Elko, if you're in Urbino, or in Pearson, now is the time. You have a few minutes to find your safe room. Okay, so interior closet, interior bedroom, interior bathroom. If you are driving and hear my voice on the radio, drive north. Drive south, but just get out of its way. And if you have a basement, that's the best place to go. So turn up the TV, listen to my voice, and it will keep you safe from the storm. The rest of us are still dealing with severe thunderstorms this evening, right? So we have lots of torrential rain, and we have severe thunderstorms across the area too. So for this little sliver of Oneida County here, we still have a severe thunderstorm warning right there. Okay, the outline here in red, it's hard to see on this map, I know. This is the tornado warning, all right, and they're in red. But over to the north here, Oneida County, you have the severe thunderstorm warning for you. This is indicative of 55-mile-per-hour wind gusts or greater, or golf ball size hail, all of which have been reported this evening. If you are in Lincoln County, this is where we have, or Langley County, this is where we have a tornado warning. Okay, this is that time, school children. Okay, if you're still up. When you practice this in schools, you know where to go, you know how to keep yourself safe, this is what you do. Let's do this because you're in the path of the storm, it's hurting people, right? And we want to stop that. So let's stop that right now. Everything you practice, everything you've been taught by your great teachers, now is the time to use that to your advantage to stay safe from this storm as it moves to the east at about 40 miles per hour. So Tomahawk, it looks like you're in the clear now. Elko, not so much. Okay, so this warning goes into effect or stays in effect until 9 p.m. All right, so we have some time to get through here. The rest of us are just hearing some thunder. There's lightning out there and torrential rain. So we're going to get some flood warnings here probably pretty soon as we have rainfall rates of almost a couple inches per hour coming out of these storms. It's very tropical air. I think you knew we were in trouble today when the sun came out for a couple hours. Remember that? And it got really warm and humid out there. It felt like the tropics. Yeah, that's that energy these storms are tapping into today. And they're doing so, and they're doing so very well. Okay, so here is the whole mesocyclone. Right, the whole thing is spinning, moving off to the east, northeast at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. Okay, if we can jump over to Max 2 real fast, we can show you another picture. Here is more damage done by this tornado back near Chedek, and you can see. Yeah, Mallory, thank you for this picture, but we wish we didn't have to show you this because this is damage that this is back in this, really in the infancy of the storm, back toward Rusk County, where the storm just got its act together, and before it started moving toward the east, and it really hasn't stopped moving toward the east for the last couple of hours, which again, these are things you talk about in Oklahoma, Texas, Nebraska, Kansas. It's happening tonight. It's happening right now in central Wisconsin, and we are here on the air, you know, live until we need to stop being live, right, to keep you safe. So that's our goal. This tornado has already killed someone. It's already injured dozens of people, right, and done structural damage like this, right? And we'll get a lot more pictures like this, I'm fearing, tonight as well, as the storm is now moving off to the east at around 40 miles per hour. Back on Max 1, you can see, yeah, let's look at this. So here's the whole mesocyclone. So this whole storm right here it got a little spin to it, right? Once that happens, it dropped a tornado, right? That tornado started back here. It literally started to the west of Rice Lake, right about there, moved all the way across here. There's my hand, you can see it. And now it's in central Lincoln County, about to move into Langley County, right? And there is a new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued. Again, where you see the yellow flashing area, that means that the conditions there are for Crandon over in the Popple River. This means 55-mile-per-hour winds or greater. It also means golf ball size hail. It also means torrential rain. And the rain's going to be a story the next day or two, because our heaviest rain could actually occur tomorrow. As this system, this really slow-moving system responsible for all of this mess, is going to move out of here tomorrow. But before it does so, it's going to drop us some more rain tomorrow afternoon, and that rain could be heavy on top of some places that got 4 inches yesterday. Some places I already see 4 inches today. We could see another 4 inches tomorrow in some places, right? So again, this is spring in Wisconsin. These things happen. However, we can get you prepared for them and make sure we keep you safe. So this warning is in effect until 9:15. So again, if you are in the orange area here for Crandon, you can see, again, 55-mile-per-hour winds, straight line winds, and torrential rains and hail. If you are in the red, this is the worst area here, right? So for parts of Lincoln County into Langley County, including Elko, all right, including Merrill, although Merrill's looking a little better here, this storm is a tornadic storm. It's been a tornadic storm since about 3 hours ago, or 2.5 hours ago, as it moved across central Wisconsin. It's produced damage. It has produced really injuries, and it's produced a fatality, okay, that we know of, confirmed already. All right, so I'm fearing as we get into some of these smaller towns the storm went over earlier tonight, we could see more injuries from this. I'm hoping not, fingers are crossed, but this system certainly had the look that it had its act together and is producing a lot of torrential rain and severe winds earlier. So,
is live right now on Facebook.
Okay. If anybody wants to hop over to our Facebook page, Ryan Sandberg, one of our meteorologists, is live on Facebook looking at the storm too and tracking the storm. He has video up right now of the storm as it comes across parts of Lincoln County. He's been with us for an hour or two out in the field too, chasing the storm, getting some great pictures. But again, our main focus here, folks, is to keep you safe. So let's just regroup for here for a second. All right. So we got a tornadic supercell that has moved across literally all of central Wisconsin today. Started back in Minnesota. It is now working its way through parts of Lincoln and the Langley County. This is our Doppler radar feature. Right? It looks at winds coming actually toward the radar or away from the radar. And once you know that, you can tell if those winds are spinning. Well, where you see the reds, the bright reds, intersect with the bright greens, that is a spin in the atmosphere. Okay? Now, where these beams, the radar beam, when it spins around and hits this, right, this is oftentimes several thousand feet in the atmosphere. It does not mean this spin is actually at the surface. However, this spin has been at the surface for hours tonight. Right? So right now, there are no confirmed reports that this is actually on the ground. However, it could drop a tornado, and a strong tornado, at any time out of this. So if you're in Elko, if you're in Ephraim, you need to take cover from this. And taking cover means finding an interior closet, finding an interior bathroom, grabbing the kids, grabbing the pets, putting the bike helmets on, grabbing the air mattress, grabbing whatever you need to grab. Get yourself safe. Let's get you through this, because this storm, it's killed people. It's killed a person. And it's injured a lot of people. All right? So we don't want that to happen to you. So that's why we're here going live with you for hours, because we want to keep you safe. It's our primary responsibility, and we want you to stay safe. So please heed this advice. If you hear my voice and you're in the counties we're talking about here, if you're in, I would say, eastern Lincoln County into Langley County, near the town of Elko or just south of Elko, all right, you need to take cover now. So those precautions take effect. All right. If you're on the radio with me right now and you think you may be near the storm, you need to either drive north or you need to drive south, okay, from central Lincoln County or from central Langley County, because this storm is moving basically due east. Okay. So if you drive anywhere north or east or south, you will get away from it. Okay. For the rest of us, we still have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for the areas here in yellow. Okay. These are diminishing. However, it's still raining here at the station in Rhinelander. All right, but this is all moving off to the east pretty quickly at about 40 miles per hour. dropping torrential rainfall. So if you are in the yellow or the orange shaded area here, this means that you could have winds of 55 miles per hour or greater. You could also have large hail, golf ball size, which has been reported in many locations across these warned areas. Okay, and you can also have some property damage too. So pull in your garbage cans, pull in your lawn furniture. This is the kind of winds that will blow those around, and you might lose them, especially trampolines too. All right, so here we are. The warning will expire for parts of Oneida County at 9:15. Okay, the tornado warning will expire at 9 o'clock for Lincoln County into Langley County. Okay, so that is not over quite yet, right? So this is still going to happen. We're still tracking this for you until 9 p.m. at least. And we have more reports here I'll share with you. We have trees down on Highway 51 southbound of Tomahawk near Irma. Okay, so we were talking about this not too long ago. We saw it past Highway 51. We tracked it over 51. We told you to get off of Highway 51 by driving north or south. Hopefully you did so because trees are down on that highway. It has produced some damage across Highway 51 and that area earlier today, actually just about 30 minutes ago. So here's our Doppler radar. And again, I can't stress to you enough how at the surface right now looking at this is a textbook mesocyclone tornadic supercell on Doppler radar. This is what you see in Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska. This is what you study in your school books. This is what you see, all right? However, at this moment, we're not getting any reports of this being on the ground, okay? It was on the ground earlier in Rusk County, into Price County, back over into Minnesota. But now we're not getting confirmed reports, right, that is on the ground in parts of Lincoln County into Langley County, okay? So, but we're going to pretend like it is, because it's Doppler radar indicated, meaning there's a circulation right there. This is spinning air right there. It's spinning, all right? This could drop a tornado at any moment in your backyard, all right? So we want to keep you safe. We want to keep you ahead of the storm, and we drew that in there for you. When you have the reds intersecting with the greens, that's a spin in the Doppler radar. This is circulation in the atmosphere. This is a spin, just like your bathtub drain. It could come to the surface at any moment, and it has done so tonight. When it did so, it killed someone back to the west in Rusk County. It's injured 25 people, right? There's property damage. There's trees out on highways. There's a lot of problems with this storm. So that's why we're on with you tonight, wall-to-wall coverage, keeping you ahead of the storm because we want you to be safe. And we're going to keep you safe. That's our primary goal. But right now, if you are between Elko and Ephraim, we have a lot of problems, right? And moving in our direction. Here is a look outside right now here in Rhinelander. And you can see it's a very stormy night. This is a severe thunderstorm in Oneida County that expires shortly. However, it is producing torrential rain. It is producing high winds, 55 miles per hour or greater. And it is producing golf ball size hail. Okay, so this is what's happening outside right now, a vivid light show. And remember, lightning can kill you too, right? So we want to be careful. Stay indoors, stay out of your bathtub, stay off your telephone if you can. Wireless phones are okay. But you can just make sure that you stay safe from the storm. This means business. You knew we were in trouble today when the sun came out. We got temperatures near 75, 80 degrees. The humidity was in the 70%. I mean, it was very tropical air. And we knew there was a warm front coming with a cold front to the west. That's just the ingredients, because you have that warm front coming up from the north or the south, and then the cold front to the west that spins the atmosphere. And we have a lot of shear or winds moving at different directions with height in the atmosphere. That caused that spin today. And if we go back over, you can see that's what caused this mesocyclone to develop across our region. It developed back into Minnesota. It is still with us right now, 3-4 hours later. So this is Doppler radar. This is Elko. This is Ephraim. Here's Harrison over here, Lincoln County into Langley County. We drew in here where the spin is currently. Now, this looks like it's starting to fall apart again on a little bit, okay? Can't confirm that. All we have confirmed right now is a Doppler radar indicated tornado, okay, that could drop to the surface at any moment. So if you hear my voice and you're near Elko, near Monaco, near Ephraim, near Crandon, this is when you have time, because you do have time right now, to take your precautions. So you can find your room inside your house that has the most walls between you and the outside world. You grab your kids, grab your pets, put bike helmets on, and huddle in your interior room. Okay, let the storm pass you. It has a history of injuries. It has hurt people. right? It has also killed someone. So let's just get past this, as we're, hopefully getting past this soon, and we'll keep you safe. So keep your TV on, keep the volume up so you can hear my voice. We'll keep you safe, tell you exactly where it is as it moves to the east at about 40 miles per hour. On this track, it looks to pass just to the south of Elko. All right, Pearson, you're up next at 8:59. Pickerel at 9:06. Coyote there at 9:11. Wabeno at 9:22. So again, there are still major towns in the path of this storm that has a storied history, hours long, of a tornado-producing supercell that has created injuries and fatalities and damage across parts of north central Wisconsin this evening. Okay, so that's what, just take that in. These are stories you hear about in the news, NBC Nightly News tomorrow, where in Oklahoma and in Texas where these things happen. This doesn't happen very often across central Wisconsin, okay? It's happening right now across central Wisconsin. We've got to keep an eye on that for you. But Elko, take cover now. We're getting more reports here. What do we got? The Red Cross will also open a reception center in Ladysmith, Wisconsin, for residents affected by a tornado in Rusk County. Okay, so if you have family or friends in Rusk County, the Red Cross in that county is opening a reception center in Ladysmith right now, and those affected by this storm can go to the Red Cross. So the good old Red Cross is there for us. Again, always there when we need them. Thank you very much, Red Cross. So that's how serious they know the situation is. If they're opening a Red Cross center, that means they know people are injured. They know families need housing. They know that people need a place to stay tonight, right, because their homes have been destroyed. We saw the pictures earlier tonight of the trailer park that was destroyed. Okay, and again, those were trailer parks that were literally wiped off their foundations. Okay, when the assessment people get out there tomorrow or the next day and assess how strong this tornado was, they're going to look at that and be like, wow, this is really just wiped right clean down to the foundation. That's typically indicative of an EF3 tornado or higher. Right? So we'll see when it comes back, but I don't want to make any assumptions. But the damage to me in those pictures, I've seen it again and again and again in Oklahoma. That's what happened. So let's do a recap right now. So still a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Oneida County, and it's moving to the east pretty quickly here. But Crandon, you're still under the gun here, and we could still see some wind gusts near 55 miles per hour. We could still see some hail, golf ball size, and definitely some flash flooding. These storms, they're not moving very fast, and some of them are moving over the same area over and over and over again. When that happens, that creates flooding. This is on top of places that got 4 inches of rain yesterday. Some places are getting 4 inches of rain today. Some places will get 4 inches of rain tomorrow. Okay, we are not done with this system yet. In fact, the heaviest rain may occur tomorrow. Okay, but in the meantime, our immediate threat right now is this entire mesocyclone. This whole storm here, right there, is spinning. Okay, it's now getting wrapped up and it's becoming more linear, which is good news. Okay. What typically happens here is the circulation gets less defined. It gets sucked up into higher winds aloft, and what happens is you get more straight line winds. So I would expect this system to kind of bow out here in the next 30 to 40 minutes, and what that would do is create a push of a push of air out of front of the system that could create some wind damage as well, but then we're not talking about a tornado. Right now, we're still talking about a tornado. It is right here. This is Doppler radar indicated just to the west of Elko. In fact, if I can have him, Chad, if you could draw how far away this circulation is from Elko, we're talking about less probably than 3 miles. Right, there we are. It's 4 or 3 miles right there. Not very far at all. So if you hear my voice in Elko, and Elko is a beautiful town, we want you to be safe. All right, so take cover now. This is a Doppler radar tornado, confirmed tornado. Right? No reports right now of this being actually on the ground. However, it has been throughout the evening, and what that has done is caused many injuries, a fatality, a lot of damage. Okay, so this is where you can stay safe. Let's get you through this, and we will get you through this. We want to. But this is moving out across Elko right now as it enters parts of Langley County. It's been on the ground or with us watching this storm literally since back in Minnesota. Moving all the way across north central Wisconsin. And here you can see the long-lived historic duration of this tornado as it worked its way from literally western Wisconsin rewind it there for you, and all the way back, you can see here, toward the east across our neck of the woods and causing all those problems tonight. So we're talking about a duration of 112 miles or so, which, in our neck of the woods, these things don't happen very often. So we're here to keep you safe. We're here to keep you advised. We're here to give you all the information we have, right? And we're doing so right now, which is why we're staying on the air with you for live coverage, breaking into your programming to keep you safe. That's our primary job. We love doing it. All right, but here we are. To keep you safe, we got to keep you either in your safe room tonight, in your interior closet or your bathroom, or below ground from this circulation right here. So here's Elko. Here is where we still have a circulation right to the west of Elko, moving to the east at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. Now again, this whole line earlier was supercellular, meaning it had a whole mesocyclone to it, right? A nice spin. Now it's beginning to become elongated, or it's becoming linear, meaning it's being wrapped up in higher winds aloft. So this typically destroys the circulation, or it can, right? But the whole thing becomes a big wind machine as it pushes off to the east, and it can do some straight line wind damage for places like Armstrong Creek, into Silver Cliff, into Wabeno. So we're watching that for you, but still, we're going to assume this storm still has a tornado on the ground right now. Okay, so here we are drawing this out. A lot of folks will be affected by this as this whole system, we call it bowing out, right? You'll see it form like a bow echo, like a crossbow, right? That means a push of wind, a low-level jet stream coming in from the west, hitting this, pushing it along really fast, right? And creating forcing all that air to the surface, and that's what creates a lot of straight-line wind damage. Which in some cases, as you know, is better than a tornado, right? But right now we're going to assume that this is tornadic, and we still have places like Armstrong Creek, Wabeno, Dunbar, and Pembrine in here that could be affected by either very strong straight-line winds this evening or a tornadic supercell that's been in the area this evening, which is the last known point was just to the west of Elko, literally 3 miles to the west of Elko, moving toward Elko. All right, so that was about 3-4 minutes ago, meaning it's over Elko right now, okay, and it's moving off to the east. So this is still a tornado-warned storm for parts of Lincoln County here into Langley County, right? So again, this can't be underestimated how dangerous this storm is. How you don't want to underestimate this at all. It's produced a long-lived tornado across central Wisconsin tonight. This new severe thunderstorm warning, blinking here. These are all new. These are in effect until 9:45 this evening. Okay. So again, these warnings mean that if you're in them or under them, under these orange areas here, including Highway 51 again, back toward Medford and over to Abbotsford. Okay. If you were on these roadways through here too, which includes 29 and 51, right? Get away from these because there's a torrential rainfall and there's really been some large hail in here too. We want to keep you safe and away from that. Okay, but this means torrential rain. It means golf ball size hail. It also means some winds are near 55 miles per hour. That's what meets the severe criteria. Okay, so somewhere in here right now under those storms, that's occurring. Okay, if you are in red, this is a Doppler radar indicated tornado. Okay, so it just got dropped off for parts of Lincoln County, but it's still in effect for Langley County. So Elko, you're under the gun. If you live between Elko and Antigo, which is essentially all of Lincoln County, right? This is where you still have a tornado warning from a long-lived tornado that started back in Minnesota, moved across central Wisconsin, hundreds of miles or so. It's done damage, it's caused injuries, and it's caused a fatality, a confirmed fatality. Okay, we're getting dozens of reports now in of damage reports and video of that as we can. We're sharing a live stream with you on our Facebook page, so if you want to go over there, you can look at that too. But generally, we're keeping you ahead of the storm. So if you're between Elko and Antigo right now, this is when you take cover. Right now, it's a Doppler radar indicated tornado. So you're thinking, hey, Jeff, what does that mean? Well, that means that somewhere or in the radar beam right here, so here's Cranon, here's Monaco, here's Enterprise, here's Elko. This looks good. This looks like the circulation is being absorbed into this linear thunderstorm right there, right? That's good. That means that's going to go away. But we still have an ill-defined circulation right here just southeast now of Elko, moving toward the east. I betcha it's going to start moving toward the northeast as it starts getting caught up in these upper-level winds, moving out ahead of this main system. Okay? So right now, we're going to pretend, although there are no confirmed reports of it on the ground right now, Doppler radar says, hey, you got some circulation right in there this could drop a tornado at any given time, and we want to keep you safe. So keeping you safe means, A, you don't get on the roads. Stay off the road, stay off 45. Don't go on 45. Okay? If you're on 45, hear my voice, between Elko and you can either drive north or in Anago and drive south. Right? Get away from this. Okay? Because it is moving pretty much due east at about 40 miles per hour. Okay? This storm has its history, a long-lived history now of producing tornadoes, right? I think we're at the end of this, meaning it's being absorbed into a very linear-shaped cloud rain event here. This typically means the circulation gets absorbed into this, right? Rain-cooled air becomes out of it from the back, destroys the circulation, and this turns into what we call a bow echo, right? So you have a low-level jet stream back over here to the west. Shoots into this midsection right here, and it kind of bows out. You'll see it bow out, and also creates some really strong straight line winds. So we're going from a tornadic event into a straight line wind event. Okay. Now, this could also do a lot of damage. We've seen it dozens of times here across north central Wisconsin. We saw it last fall as well. It knocked over all those trees across into the north, Eagle River, up by Arbor Vitae. So that could happen again to our east this evening as this tornadic supercell begins to wind down and get absorbed into a longer linear-shaped bow echo, which could create its own problems, right? Its own straight line winds as it moves off to the east. It's kind of more of an east-northeast version of this now because there's a lot of air coming up from the south right here across eastern Wisconsin. This will tend to push these storms to the north and east a little more than they have been. So aside from the easterly component we've had all day long from this storm here, basically coming from Minnesota right along Highway 8 all the way into Langley County now, these will start to kind of move toward the northeast a little bit more now as they continue to drop torrential rain, heavy rain, and hail as well. All right, so we have new warnings in effect for you here. Generally off to the west of Rhinelander, these warnings include areas that have seen a lot of rain today already. Okay, so this means more rain is on the way. This also means that you could see golf ball size hail. This also means that you could see straight line wind gusts of over 55 miles per hour. This also means a lot of problems. So if you're in Forest County or Langley County, even into Marinette County, this is coming your way. Right? There's really, if you're east of Rhinelander, there's no real way to avoid this evening as it moves to the east. However, we're going to really keep our fingers crossed that the tornadic portion of the storm is going to wind down. So everybody cross your fingers. Here we go. We want to get rid of this thing. We want to say see you later after this long duration, really Midwest-like, tornado alley-like storm formed off in western Wisconsin, moved to the east, spinning the entire way. Right? Now it's in Langley County, Wisconsin, right, with a radar-confirmed tornado, meaning Doppler radar sees a circulation in this cloud that could come down to the surface at any given time. Okay? That warning is in effect here for a little bit longer. We're going to see if we get that warning to lift. Once we do, we're in pretty good shape because then we're dealing with just severe thunderstorms, which are better than tornadoes, as you know. Okay? So if you are anywhere in these yellow boxes, anywhere in the red box here, anywhere in the yellow box over here, you have torrential rain moving your way, you have golf ball size hail moving your way, and you also have winds moving your way that could exceed 55 miles per hour. Okay? That will do some damage. So you can prepare for that now by pulling in your garbage can, pulling in your lawn furniture, strapping down the trampoline. Those are notorious for making its way, hundreds of feet down the road. And losing those pretty quickly. So, and they're kind of not cheap too. So here we go with this. So a lot of heavy rain in here as well. All right. So I would not be surprised to see some flood warnings come out tonight because we have training going on. And training is essentially thunderstorms moving over the same area over and over and over again. Okay. And that's the case today. You knew we were in trouble earlier, right? When we had temperatures in the 70s to near 80, and then the skies opened up. We had a lot of sunshine. You just felt how humid it was. You go outside and you're already sweating. That's what happened earlier today. Well, that's the energy that this tornado, early storm system, tapped into earlier today, and it continues to do so tonight. So this is Mother Nature's way of releasing all that energy, and she's doing it right now across north central and northeastern Wisconsin. So just to recap, we have these severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for the counties here in yellow or in orange, and a tornado warning for the areas there in red. That includes Elko and Anago.
You're going to expire the tornado
We
warning at
are
9.
They're going to, let's see, we're getting new guidance here from the National Weather Service. The warning for the tornado will expire at 9 o'clock. So 4 minutes from now, the tornado warning will expire, and we will say, see you later, because we are going to be reading about this tornadic event for a long time. This was textbook. It was a large mesocyclone that developed in the heat of the day across western Wisconsin. It moved almost due east, the whole system spinning, right, producing damage all the way back into Rusk County, into Price County, and Lincoln County as well. Now, that circulation has been absorbed into a larger front, we'll call it, right? So when these go linear like this, it's good news because it generally destroys the circulation, but it produces what's called straight line winds or a bow echo. You see how it's kind of bowing out here a little bit? As it does that, a low-level jet stream or a push of air is coming in behind it right here from Park Falls back through the area. That tends to push out ahead of it and really drop those winds down to the surface. Okay? So when you do that, you're not talking about tornadic winds, but you're talking about straight line winds. That can do a lot of damage as well. We've seen it over and over and over and over again. These are the kind of winds that topple just numerous trees and create power outages for weeks at a time, right? So we don't want that. But that looks like it's setting up here across eastern Wisconsin to the east of Rhinelander, to the east of Merrill, I would say, as it pushes towards, say, the Green Bay area, Antigo, Townsend, that direction. So we're keeping an eye on that for you, but definitely we're going to say goodbye to the tornado warning here in just a couple of minutes. And we're getting more reports now. There was a spotter report near Irma of multiple large trees were downed. So yeah, we watched it earlier, Irma. We knew it was creating lots of problems over Irma, and now we're getting reports of the problems that occurred over Irma, or in Irma, right? So hopefully, although I fear this is not going to be the case, all these little towns back to, say, the west of Tomahawk that the storm went through earlier, as we start getting in there and seeing these, the damage that was done, we're going to start seeing a lot more damage reports. But right now, let's keep you safe at where this is right now. The warning for the tornado. Okay, here it is right there. You can see it's falling apart. It's been absorbed now into a broader circulation, right, which is non-tornadic, right? So that's great news for us. That is going to rain itself out tonight, but it's also going to create some very strong winds tonight and torrential rains. So here's what we call the tornado was in the system right there. It's now being absorbed into a larger line. We call that linear, right? We'll get a low-level jet stream back behind this tonight, get a push of air in here, and it's going to bow out, right? So it's going to bow like a bow and arrow, and that's what produces some really strong straight-line wind gusts. So we'll be watching for that to the east of Rhinelander, to the east of Tomahawk and Eagle River, but definitely this is better than a tornado that we know now caused damage, we know now caused injuries, and we know it killed someone, okay? And hopefully not worse. Okay, so we're going to keep our fingers crossed for that, but we're going to be reading about this for a long time as this system has been on the ground for several hours. You know, I came on the air with you during Wheel of Fortune, so that was, what, 6:45 or so? It's been a long time since then, and we're still talking about this same storm as it moved from western Wisconsin, literally almost near Minneapolis, into the Northwoods and across central Wisconsin, and is now in Langley County and about to expire. So we're going to say goodbye to that at 9 o'clock, the warning, and keep an eye on these watches and warnings out for you this evening. Again, the primary threats, once this tornado event is over, is going to be the heavy rain tonight, the strong gusty winds coming out of these thunderstorms, okay? And it's also going to be the torrential rain, and maybe some light hail too. Although the hail threat is diminishing somewhat, it is still not zero. Okay, so we want to make sure with you that you're safe from this. Here's the core of the hail right now. And remember earlier we had hail cores that were just huge. They were huge. They were 3-inch diameter hail, right? In many locations across the area, right? This is now going to wind down and move off to the east. So the tornado warning has now expired. Okay, I'm going to leave you and go off the air now. We'll come back on the air as soon as we need to for more events. You can catch all of our updates and latest news at 10 o'clock tonight. We'll have a full recap